Hi, everyone. This is EstaRa with a message for you. It is Wednesday, January 11th, 2017, which is actually an 11/11 day. So it's 1/11, and then if you add the 2, 7, and 1, it's a 1. So I am here with a message for you. I know it's been some time since I've left a message. Happy New Year, by the way. I have been in massive hibernation, and it's really weird. Today is like my coming out day, if you will. I feel like I'm coming out of hibernation. However, I do see myself coming back and forth into respite because there has just been so much transpiring. So let me catch you up a little bit on what's going on and bring you some updated messages and information for the Twinflame journey. So I had Christmas time. I did not see my twin. I would talk to him before Christmas, and he said that he was going to come get his present because I had something for him. He did not. He told me he'd come by the end of the year, and he didn't. So I ended up mailing it off to him last week, and I mailed it. Oh gosh, I think it was like literally the 3rd of January when the post office opened again, and he got it a couple days later. I felt it. I felt when he received it, and ever since then, I have had massive amounts of emotion coming up, like little waves of it. But I'm actually not. I'm not giving into it because it's not mine. Like I'll recognize like some of the words I use and some of the thoughts that are going through my head. They're his. They're not mine. And I've always had a connection to him. I always feel his stuff. But it's almost like now it's even more intense. Like in my head, I hear his thoughts. Now I know a lot of you do hear that. But it's not like I hear his thoughts and I know that they're his thoughts. A lot of times I'm hearing them. And at first I'm like, what am I saying? It's like, I think it's me talking to me, but it's actually him talking to himself. And let me tell you, his vocabulary to himself is not very nice. And it's really hard to listen to and makes me sad because I really want to help him. So I had this thing that, I've been in this hibernation, taking care of me, really taking care of me. So last week I really wanted to mail his present off before the end of the year, on New Year's Eve day. I just didn't have time. I was working and it didn't work out. So I mailed it after, and I have to tell you, so I've been kind of like in this like weird, murky, taffy, molasses kind of energy for a few days after the new year. Like I know everybody's like, oh, Happy New Year. It's a great new year. And I wasn't feeling that. I was feeling like, blah. I was feeling like heavy molasses, and I wasn't feeling it's time to move forward. So I didn't know what that all meant. And then I was really clear that his package needed to get in the mail first thing when I left my house that day. So that morning on Tuesday, I mailed it off. And as soon as I did, my energy started to shift a little bit. And it started shifting a little bit more and a little bit more. And then by Wednesday, I started clearing, cleaning. I took down my tree. Actually, no, I didn't do that till the weekend. I started clearing, but I had so much going on. Like I cleared my house. I shredded things from my car accident. It's like, goodbye. I need to say goodbye. It's time to purge, time to cleanse. I shredded materials from being really sick, like old doctor's reports and stuff. I don't need that anymore. I don't want that anymore. And then I started to clear through my closet and find things there that needed to go. And I still have a few other places that I'm like, oh, I didn't look in there yet. But I started to really clear. And it started on Wednesday, and it kept happening, like up until finally Sunday. I felt like, I feel good. So Saturday, I spent the whole day purging and cleansing. I had 5 bags of recyclables, including, shredded recyclables. And I had 3 bags of trash and 2 bags of donation, 2 giant bags of items for donation. And I felt good. I felt purged. I felt clear. I felt good. But in between all of that, now that was my energy that felt really appropriate for me. And I'm not saying that my twin didn't feel that and that, he didn't experience that. But what I am saying is I knew that was clearly me. But his energy, on the other hand, I remember coming back when he did receive his package. I know that he opened it. I had a vision of him opening it, looking at it on his desk because I sent it to his office. And I had this feeling of like overwhelmed, like the emotions started well, but I was working and I wasn't able to like really go there. So when I got to work, I was supposed to meet my friend. We were making dinner. And then I'm like so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. And then I was like, why am I saying that? I'm not overwhelmed. And that's when I started to recognize, oh my God, it's even more intense. Like I don't always know it's not me. Thank goodness I'm catching myself. And so all these months and years, I didn't always know it wasn't me. But I would always say, is this me? And I would catch on. And it's almost like the line between us is even thinner. Like we really are one. And it drives me mad because it's such a beautiful thing and a horrible thing at the same time. So that was like really hard, to all weekend. I would start to get like, I remember waking up, I think it was Saturday morning, and I looked outside, it was snowing. I'm like, God, it's so beautiful. And then I started to cry. And I was like, wait, why am I crying? I don't feel sad. This is beautiful. I'm happy. And I recognized, I said, is this mine? And then it stopped. So it's him, he's going through these emotions. And I got this really cool visual of what's happening. So if you all saw, you've ever seen cartoons, I'm sure most of you have seen them. If not, at least 99% of you have. So you know how when there's like water spouting up from the earth and, the little character goes, oh, I got to stop it. And then it pops up somewhere else and they're stopping and it just keeps popping. I feel like that's what's going on with my twin. And I feel like that's actually happening for all twins. I don't think it's just for him, but for him particularly, it's even more intense, I feel. So I was like, wow. So that's what I've been feeling for the last few days. And I wasn't getting it's time yet. Yesterday I started to do a few little work things and then I got sidetracked. I was guided to do something else, go somewhere else. And I thought, well, how am I going to get to, my YouTube? I want to reach out to my community and talk with them. And so they said, don't worry. Well, it's today. And it's because it's 1/11/1. And I feel like there's a huge deal. So I had a couple of you reach out to me about energy body upgrades for January 11th. I'm not doing them today. I'm doing them next week, January 17th, 2017. I think it was the 17th. The reason being, my guides pick out the dates. I don't pick out the dates. And the reason it wasn't on today's day is because today is a different energy that we all need to capture and use. So my message, there's like so much I want to share with you and say to you. So I apologize if I'm all over the place and rambling, but I'm going to try to get it. I should make notes before this, but I don't. I trust Spirit to give me what I need at the moment that I need it. So one of the things that I found, so with 1/11/1, it's an 11/11 day. Wake up, wake up, wake up, twin, 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 twin. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. So that's a huge deal. That's what's been happening. Please check out my blog below. I just posted a channel that I've been working on for like over a week. It's just taken me forever to get it out because again, molasses energy, it was hard to get through. So in there, I talk about our creation and what's coming up, but I also talk about the purge. So the purge is still on. So my purging, my cleansing, it's still on. And I feel like it's going to go on for the next couple months. I feel like the first few months of the year, we're in the middle, not necessarily full 3 months, but I feel like we're in like the middle of like clearing and purging and really it's like opportunities for purging. It's not so much that we're done, we're finished, because obviously if we were all finished, we wouldn't be here on this plane anymore. But we're getting this push for it. It's like the universe is on our side to purge. So for the next couple of months, we're going to feel purging energy. And that's something I wrote about. So you can check that out. But today is Twinflame Day. So happy Twinflame Day. It feels like really stay focused today. Really bring your energy into you and your twin. And it's going to be not easy. I want to let you know. I feel like, the last couple of days, I've been feeling really balanced, really grounded. And I'm really, it's funny. I am, because I've been really working so hard on me. Like I've been telling you all for months now, priority is you, priority is you. Well, my guys are really proud of me for being in that priority being me. So now they're bringing me back to priority is you and your twin flame. You and your union, actually not twin flame, you and your union. It needs to happen. You need to focus on both. And so if you don't focus on both, then it's not going to happen. So my work schedule has gotten stronger, bigger and longer, and wow. So it's me, my twin flame, me, my union, and then twin flame, and then whatever else comes after that. So that's where my focus has been. So I'm giving that to you because it's really important. You have to be in balance. So one of the things that I've discovered recently over the weekend, I was doing my local little meditation group for twin flames. So if you're in the Connecticut area and you are interested in joining in, you can contact me and we'll see if you're a good fit, if you feel comfortable coming. And I say good fit because sometimes people come and they're like, hey, I don't want to do meditations, or they're not on the same, they're not in like the same frequency, meaning they're not like really in the mood to do that kind of work. And so it's, it's basically some clearing and some healing for our twins. And one of the things that's interesting about it is we become a really close group. But anyway, over that time period I was channeling, and one of the messages that I got really clearly was we have to be in perfect alignment to unite. And what does that mean? Does that mean we have to be perfect? Absolutely not. Does that mean they have to be perfect? Absolutely not. Does that mean we have to be fully healed? Absolutely. Does that mean they have to be fully healed? Pretty much. However, does it mean we could do work together to clear any last, vestiges of stuff that's stuck there? Of course we can. But if we're not in our own alignment, so for example, the last 4 years, I had a car accident 4 years ago on Valentine's Day, which was horrible. And during those 4 years, I was like, not okay. I mean, I had a concussion. I couldn't walk. I had serious neck and back pain. I'm still in physical therapy for some of that because I didn't have proper care for 2 years. So all of that, the truth was I wasn't ready to align because I needed to be okay physically for me. And I wasn't. And not being okay physically and not being okay emotionally, not being okay mentally means, guess what? I'm not in alignment really, because if I'm the one that's helping bring my twin in, then I need to get into alignment. So I feel like one of the messages that I want to share with you is like really get into alignment, really do your work. I know you've been doing work. I know you feel like I've been doing this forever. Believe me, I've known my twin in May. It will be 12 years. I totally hear you and I totally understand you. And back then, energy and time moved so much slower, so it didn't really seem like it was moving forward. And that's why it's so long for us. But the truth is that time is moving faster. Energy is moving quicker. And we are meant to be together. We're all meant to be in alignment. We're all meant to be with our twin. If we know them on this lifetime, we know that this is our twin. We know we're supposed to reunite. That is our journey in this lifetime. So I feel like it's really important that you do the work. And, the work isn't work. It's actually beautiful self-care. And it's about being self-aware, being self-loving, being kind to self, being, like, for example, me pulling away. I felt bad that I couldn't be there for everybody like I would like to be. But the truth was, I also knew that if I'm not okay, then nothing's going to be okay. Meaning the people in my life, my twin and myself included, like I wouldn't be okay if I didn't take care of me. So one of the things that I recognized this weekend when I was talking to my group was that it's really important that we honor ourselves and we love ourselves. And we have to like make sure we're doing everything we can emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually to be okay. You can't just do one aspect. I know a lot of people, will totally focus on the physical being, like work on their bodies, making sure they're in shape and taking care of what they're eating. And then they forget all about the spiritual piece or all about the emotional piece or all about the thoughts, the mental piece. And well, that's not alignment because all of it needs to be in alignment and balance. And so, spiritual work is practice. It's like, it's a muscle, it's kind of like, I want to say, let today be your beginning, because when you're doing your work and creating your routine. See, I always create it as a routine because that makes it easier for me. Like I know this is what I'm going to do and how it's going to be. And so I have a pretty long routine, but that's because I work with a lot of people and I need to protect myself energetically from all that stuff as well as, doing my normal stuff for me and my twin. Excuse me, I'm being interfered with, I think. That's why my throat is needing to be cleared. Let's put a protective shield over me. I asked for Archangel Michael. I asked for the Arcturians and EstaRa. Thank you. So I guess they're interfering with me because I'm giving you information that obviously is very pertinent, very necessary and needed. So you know how like sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. Like those of you who go to the gym, you're like, oh, I don't want to get up out of bed this morning and go to the gym. I want to just, but you push yourself. You just like, I got to do this. And you get up and you go. It's the same thing with spiritual work. You have to just do it and get up and go and not and push yourself through it. It might be difficult, might be exhausting, but push yourself through it because you need to do that to get to the next place. And one of the things that my guides they're always like, run energy through you, run energy through you. So that's very important, to run light through you. And that's what I do every day. And I do it always on the behalf of myself and my twin, but the truth is I still do it for me because I have to, and I have to do it for both of us. So adding to that work is going to be interesting. Who knows what it's going to look like for each of us, because each of us have our own little routines. We'll create our own journeys, but I definitely have my routine down, and I've now been doing it since before Thanksgiving in US time. And that's a pretty long time for me, and I'm pretty proud of it. And there's moments and days where I don't want to do it, but I have to tell you, the moments and days that I don't want to do it, I know there's interference happening, and meaning that there's like lots of energies, active. And so I have to push through those days and say, no, this has to happen. And I actually make it so that happens before everything else I do. Don't even get out of bed until I begin this journey of this work. Another thing I want to share with you this day, again, it's all about manifesting. And we talked in a previous video about manifestation. I don't remember what I named it, but if you go back on my YouTube videos, if you didn't see it and you didn't get a chance to listen to it, please listen to it. It's about manifesting from intention, expectation, and gratitude. If you can bring those things together along with your heart energy, big deal, big difference. And I am going to be running a webinar in February specifically about manifesting. So if you're interested, please sign on my mailing list or just pay attention, and I'll be sure to put it out there for you. I'm also going to do a couple other classes in February that I wanted to run in January, but I was told not to, that the time wasn't right, but February would be the right time. So stay on the lookout if you're on my mailing list to see what's coming up, because some really cool things are coming up. There are some great things at the end of this month as well, so check out that. But I know that we're all in this place of, oh my gosh, I don't want to wait anymore. When's it going to happen? And that's pretty much been me daily. But I feel like we have opportunities this year that we've never seen. We have opportunities this year that will probably push us into another place of clearing, but also push us into another place of union, like another level of the union ladder, if you will. And it's time to take advantage of that. So use the time wisely for you and what you need to do for you. And I want to encourage you to create a routine, because that is so important. So, for an example, a routine could be as simple as, calling the angels to surround you, and then just visualizing white light coming through you, touching every cell in your body and expanding every cell in your body and healing every cell in your body and bringing love and peace to you, and feel that going all the way down into the earth beneath you. And then it could be as simple as grounding and anchoring down into the earth. I always tell people to create like an anchor at the end of their grounding cord, so it looks like they're locking into the heart of Gaia. That would be a great thing for you to do. And also, once that's done, all you need to do is do some beautiful affirmations of love for yourself, for your twin, whatever you want to manifest, but do that in a way that it's like ritualistic for you. So those are simple things for you to do and to start with. It will be back, I promise. I'm not going to disappear. I don't mean to disappear when I did. I had to, though. I was very guided on that. Use this energy today, 11/11. You have the opportunity today to create. So I would suggest that you sit down and write down a list of what it is you desire, not just for your relationship, but definitely for your relationship. But not just that, everything you desire this year. What do you want to bring into your reality? And make it as crazy as you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be easy. It doesn't have to be simple. It just needs to be. And it should just be from your heart and your imagination. But before you write that list, I'm going to put out a little warning. You need to clear yourself. You need to get grounded. You need to be in your heart. Bring yourself into your heart energy. Come from here and then write the list. Because if you're doing it from, oh my God, I need more money. Oh my God, I need this, I need that. Then guess where that's coming from? Here and fear. It's not coming from here in your heart. So really try and do that. I think that's like a really great tool. And now I'm going to wrap up with like 3 cards that I pulled, but I didn't pull from my normal deck. I actually asked for a very clear message for today for all twins to know and what is important. So I asked the archangels to assist me, and I pulled 3 cards. I'm going to pull them now. I pulled them from the Archangel During Virtue Archangel Oracle cards. That's what these are. And I'm going to pull over the card, read the message. If they give me anything else, I'll be happy to give that to you, but we'll see what happens. So the first card they gave me, card that they love to use these words, Divine Order, Archangel Ragiel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. So let me show you how beautiful that card is. So Divine Order, I heard that 1,000 times. They always say to me, it's in divine, all is in divine and perfect order. And I'd be like, it doesn't look like that. But now that I'm in this more of a balanced state and I pulled away and I'm not letting everything affect me, and I'm working at making sure not everything affects me. And believe me, I still get emotional. I just don't get out of control anymore. I get very controlled. And when I do get really emotional, I know it's not me. I know it's my twin. And it might be other people that I'm around. I know I pick up a lot from people around me and friends, that don't always recognize that it's their stuff, but it is. And it's really funny. Like one of my friends just said, I think you're feeling me. I said, I think you're right. And I don't always like to point out that I'm feeling them because I don't want to hurt their feelings for them. Like a lot of times, like, oh, I don't want to give you my stuff. But it is theirs. So I'm telling you that because underneath all of that stuff, everything is in divine and perfect order. Everything is as it should be. We are already united with our beloved. And I got to tell you, my experiences with my twin and what I feel with him, I was really upset about it because I was upset that I haven't heard from him. I mean, I sent him a gift and he didn't even acknowledge that, which is really crappy. As a human, that's a really crappy thing to do. But on a spirit level, I get what's going on. He's overwhelmed with emotion, and it was very loving what I sent him. And it actually was a CD I told you about where my song, the poem I wrote him, was on that CD, and I sent him the CD and said, "This is our song immortalized, our love immortalized in music." And I'm sure that hit him really hard because I don't think he listened to it yet. I feel like that, the emotion and the overwhelm. But here's the other interesting thing is when I was cleaning, I found a journal that came flying out of my closet when I was trying to stuff more things in there. And it opened to my dream journal, opened to the page where I wrote that poem. It was June 17th, 2006. And I thought, oh my God. And I remember it flashed me right back to that moment when I wrote it when I first woke up in the morning because it was in my dream journal. I am totally off on tangent, so I'm sorry. Let me bring it back. So back to divine order. So everything is in divine and perfect order. We are so merged. We are already one. And the more merged you are, how do you know? Well, the way you know is like what you're experiencing and what you're feeling. Like with my twin, I literally experience everything he does, and I don't always know it's mine. And it's not like I have this little voice over here saying to me, by the way, that's me, because he's more in his higher self is more in his body right now. And it's funny, his higher self used to come talk to me all the time. I used to talk to his highest aspect of him. And I would say, just get out of here and go home, go back into your body, jump into it and come to me physically. That's what I would say. So now I think that happened. And he is trying to come to me physically. And there are things in the way. I mean, his emotions and stuff are still coming up and he needs to clear and purge those. And I can't do all of it, obviously, but I can do quite a bit of it by making sure I'm clear and I'm clean energetically. And so as much as I can work on me, it's working on him as well. And so underneath everything is in divine and perfect order. Let me show that card again. Okay, so the next card, turn this one over. They are so good. I love these people. These beautiful angels. Okay, Archangel Metatron the card is prioritize. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. So let me tell you something. Metatron is so extremely powerful. Here's the card. Call on Metatron and say, listen, I need help. I need you to help me to be a priority in my own life. 90% of us are not priorities in our own life. We make everything else go before us. We even make our twins before us. And guess what? Our twins can't be before us because if they are, then we're not taking care of us. And the other piece of that is what I just shared with you. I sent a beautiful gift to my twin and he didn't respond, didn't acknowledge it. Now, if I put him ahead of me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, poor him. I'm so sad that he's not okay. No, instead, I nurtured my inner child and said, oh my gosh, it's okay. I know we're disappointed. I know we're hurting. It's okay. Let me love me. And that's something that takes a while for me to do. And it's not always something I recognize to do right away, but it's becoming more of my reality and more of where I reach to. So ask Archangel Metatron, say, please help me prioritize me in my life. Bring me center. And then ask to prioritize everything else that needs to get taken care of. And you will be guided in ways that you won't know. So some of you might be like, well, I don't hear anything, but you'll receive messages in every way, shape, or form to get that same message to you. And the final card. I love it. These are exactly what I wanted to share with you today. So it's ideal and perfect. And I love the angels for helping me. Archangel Michael, you are safe. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. So Archangel Michael is my buddy. He has been with me for years now. He's been my biggest teacher, especially on this Twinflame journey. And, you know, I needed this just as much as all of you. You are safe. We are safe. We are safe. We are always protected. But guess what? We forget that we are. And when we forget we are, we don't have the power anymore. Our power comes by intention and thought and frequency and vibration. And if we are not believing we're safe, then we're not safe. And if we're not trusting that we have protection, then we don't have protection. So I want you to remember that you are safe and that the angels are always available to you at all times and spaces. And the star beings are there as well, you know, because I love my star being people. They're always with me and they've been with me for years and I'm grateful to them. But I'm also grateful to the archangels because they were my teachers first. And they are always there for us. And by the way, if Archangel Michael's with me, it doesn't mean he can't be with you. Archangels can be everywhere simultaneously. So please don't think you can't call on them. And don't think that you are not worthy of their help. And don't think that anything is too small or too big for them to do. They'll do it all. They are, oh my gosh, they're so willing to help us with the simplest of things. I can tell you that whenever I need a parking space, all I need to say is, I need parking angels. I need you now. Find me a space. And I get one. Or this morning I had to get my blood drawn and I went to the lab to get my blood drawn. And I went first thing this morning and I visualized me just going in and sitting down for a few minutes and walking right in. And that's exactly what happened. There was like nobody there. Usually when I go there, there's so many people. So it's this magic that we have if we can just trust and believe. But guess what? That's the hardest thing to do, is trusting and believing. And so the last few weeks I've been working really hard on clearing my energy so I can bring myself back into and believing. And yeah, the doubt creeps in. The doubt has creeped in and it creeps in and it frustrates me and it makes me sad. But guess what? It's creeping into my twin and he's feeling doubt. He's feeling scared. He doesn't know where he belongs. The words I heard him say yesterday is, I'm so lost. I'm so confused. I don't know who I am anymore. Now, as sad as that sounds, it's actually beautiful because only then can he find who he is and be who he really is. And that also tells me that things are changing so dramatically for him and rapidly that he's a little bit confused. Well, wouldn't we all? Aren't we all? Weren't we all? Did you experience that? I know when I started changing, I didn't know where I belonged. And I'm feeling that again because I'm moving up to another dimensional level and I'm moving into a more heightened vibration. And I think, uh-oh, where do I go now? So you are exactly where you need to be. Divine and perfect order. I send you blessings. I send you love. I say namaste to you, my dear one. And I will be back at some point. So blessed union.